Hi, my name is Malvin Young, and I lived with the debilitating symptoms of Eagle syndrome for 20 years. After seeing more than 50 specialists, I finally discovered I had Eagle syndrome. And having a styloidectomy changed my life. Since then, I've been trying to learn everything I can about Eagle syndrome, how it's diagnosed, how it's treated, and the healing process.
And all the many gaps most of us already know about. How long it takes just to get diagnosed.
How hard it is to find a doctor, a surgeon, skilled enough to do the styloidectomy properly. And the truth about healing, and how long it really takes. That's what we're going to talk about today, the truth of healing. Here's the first thing I wish someone had told me. Recovery happens on 2 clocks. The first clock is the wound. The incision, the swelling, the sore throat. That part closes in just a few weeks. Most people are through the surgical recovery in about 2 to 6 weeks. But the second clock is the one nobody warns you about. After years of compression, your nervous system has to recalibrate. And that clock runs much, much slower. Most surgeons never talk about this one. This is the big one. Removing the styloid is not the finish line. It's the starting line. If your nervous system has been under assault for 15, 20, 25 years, it didn't just sit there. It rewired itself to cope. Building compensations, chronic inflammation, hypersensitivity, expecting it to just snap back in a few months, for a lot of us, that's not realistic. And healing is not a straight line. It's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Good weeks follow rough weeks. Old symptoms can ease, and then a brand new sensation shows up out of nowhere. Tingling, ear pressure, popping sounds. That can be confusing, even scary. But here's the truth. Those new sensations are often just your nerves recovering. It's not a sign that something went wrong. But there's another part of healing nobody talks about, and honestly, it might be the hardest one. The psychological and emotional side. And this one can take a really long time. When you live with Eagle syndrome for years, your body learns to stay on high alert. Every twinge, every pulse in your head and neck, your brain treats it as a threat. You become hypervigilant. And even after the styloid is gone, that alarm system doesn't switch off overnight. Your nervous system has to learn, slowly, that it's safe again. The way you do it is through living, through doing the things you used to avoid, a little at a time, and showing your body that everything is okay. Let me give you a real example. About 18 months after my surgery, I went to ride a bike. And part of me was bracing for it. I was genuinely worried it was going to set off pain in my head and neck.
But I did it anyway. And you know what? I was actually fine.
Every time you do something you were afraid of, and your body comes through okay, you're sending it a new message. We're safe now. Do enough of those, and your nervous system slowly turns the alarm down. Let me show you what this journey can actually look like. Week 2, you feel great. You think, I'm healed. Week 4, new symptoms appear, and panic sets in. Month 2, your original symptoms are much better, but the new sensations are confusing. Month 4, overall you're better, but you're having a bad week. Month 6, you suddenly realize you haven't thought about your symptoms in days. Month 9, occasional flares, but you bounce back faster each time. Month 12, mostly symptom-free, still a little cautious. And month 18, you finally feel like yourself again. So here's the mindset that changed everything for me. Give yourself 18 months to heal. That's not lowering the bar, it's setting a realistic one. Because when you expect to be back to normal in 6 weeks and you're still struggling at 6 months, that creates stress, anxiety, fear that the surgery didn't work, and desperate Googling at 3 in the morning. And stress is the opposite of healing. It raises inflammation, it heightens pain, and it keeps your body stuck in fight or flight instead of rest and repair. Worrying about healing can actually slow it down.
Most patients reach a new normal that's dramatically better than before surgery.
Not always identical to life before symptoms began, but the improvement is unmistakable. The most consistent thing people say at 12 to 18 months is this: looking back, the change is undeniable. So if you're in the thick of it right now, give yourself grace, give yourself time, give yourself 18 months. The structural problem is gone. Now your body just needs time and a little less stress to finish the work.
I'm Malvin Young, and if you want to learn more about diagnosis, treatment, and the real truth of healing, come find everything we've put together at eaglesyndrome.net.
We'll keep talking about the truth of Eagle syndrome together.